If you gave me a camera today and you deleted my entire photography business, I'm pretty confident that I could build my business back up to a consistent $5,000 a month in income within 90 days through the 4-step plan that I'm going to show you if you just hang with me for the next 60 seconds. Because so many photographers and videographers and just creative people who love using a camera and creating stuff are confused when it comes to the business side. How do you actually get clients? What do you charge? Who do you work with? What do you offer them? The thing is, they think about editing and starting a personal brand and getting a lot of gear and just trying to contact everybody, and it's basically just a big chaos. Now, there's one thing that matters, and it's actually getting clients and getting people that pay you, getting revenue in your business. That is what matters. Because $5,000 a month is nothing more than 2 or 3 clients paying you $2,000 or $3,000 a month for social media content, for instance. That is the easiest way to get started, in my opinion. That's how I'm building my business. And now I'm going to show you the 4-step process I would go through if I started from zero today. Now, if I started from zero, I would start with what am I actually selling? And you have to combine both passion and profit here. What are people willing to pay for, first and foremost? But also, what do you enjoy doing? Because it's when those two meet and you find a good bridge between them that you actually build a business that both makes you money and you enjoy building. Now, what are you actually selling? This can be a lot of things, but the two main things that have worked good for me is events and social media retainers. What I mean by social media retainers is basically creating monthly social media content for local businesses. It's not more advanced than that. And events is just documenting events because every event needs heavy documentation in forms of photo and video. Now, these are the two main things that I would offer. And combining on your need for stability and your need for freedom and creative expression, you can sort of juggle them. For me, events is something that comes and goes. I just got contacted today for an event that I'm going to charge $5,000 because it's a huge conference, which is super fun to shoot, but it only happens every other year, so it's not that reliable. And then I have my social media retainers as sort of my fund, my base for my income, which happens every single month that I can always count on. And then I even go on tour with DJs and I travel with musicians, etc., which is more of the fun projects that come from time to time. And then I can take them on because I have the freedom and the flexibility, because I know I have those retainers in the bottom that sort of secures my monthly income. So you just have to find out what are you willing to sell and what do you want to sell in order to make money. By the way, if you want to learn a lot more than I can say in this short video, I'll put together 14 videos breaking down exactly how I built everything that I've done over the last 8 years in my free community called the Lens Profit Community. It's the first link in the description if you go below. In there, we also have live calls and people ask questions. I'm in there every day answering questions, and we're just building together and sharing our knowledge, and I'm sharing everything that I know. So if you want to join the community, it's completely free. You can just go the first link in the description. We'd love to see you in there. Okay, back to the video. Then you need to figure out number 2. Who are you selling it to? And this is the old concept of picking a niche. And I know it's so difficult and you heard it 1,000 times, and I don't want to sound like a broken record. And I didn't like hearing this advice in the beginning when I started out, but you really should focus on actually trying to pick a niche. And it's not because you're going to stick in this niche or stick to this niche for the rest of your life and only do work in this niche, by no means. But it's good to have a target that you're going for, and then on your path towards that target and on your journey as targeting those people, you will automatically bump into other people, you will automatically start talking to people, and then I'll promise you'll end up working with people outside of your niche. But it's good to have a target to aim towards, because if not, you're just going to spin in circles and you're not going to really know who you're going for. But in the pursuit of going for a specific niche or avatar, or ICP as we call it, ideal client profile, you end up making progress and you end up learning a lot. So pick a niche. As I said, social media retainers for local businesses. That can be basically every business that works in between business or in the business to consumer sector, which is like restaurants, hotels, the whole hospitality industry. But it can always be anything from airlines, which they're pretty too big to start working with in the beginning. But it can be like anything you can imagine, to be honest. Brands, e-commerce brands, etc. But I would try to not go for the big brands and the big companies, because they usually have everything in place and they don't want to work with beginners. And I would shy away from like the local, smallest mom and pop shops, because they also don't really have the budget. I would try to go for restaurants or hospitality chains, or brands that have maybe let's say they're doing a couple $1 million a year in revenue and they have some money to spend and they're not gonna really like micromanage you. They're willing to spend, but they're also easy to get in contact with, like the CEO or the leadership there. That's businesses I would go for. And the same with events. I wouldn't go with the world's biggest conferences, etc., but not shoot your local birthday party either. Like go for where there's actual money, because those people have a tendency to be much better to work with and they pay much better as well. So that's who I would work with and what I would offer them. Then it comes to how do you actually get those people as your client? And that's the big question, you know? And to be honest, there's no easy answer here. I'd love to give you like a 3-step call script that you call them and go through and then you just close them in 2 seconds, just like that. And to be honest, after being in this industry for 8 years and trying everything between heaven and earth and everything underneath the sun, like I've done cold calling, I've done cold email, looms, personal brand stuff. Even if you don't know what that is yet, that's totally fine. What I would focus on, if I were you, is 2 main systems or methods for acquisition when it comes to customers. Number 1 is long-term. Then it comes to building your personal brand. And I know you heard that also a bunch of times, but don't underestimate the power of just getting a couple thousand views a month. Literally, you can post some reels, post some stuff on LinkedIn, which is, by the way, a good hack. And you can get really far with just a couple thousand views a month or a week. And you can scale that up and you can play around with it, but it compounds over time and it's definitely worth putting a little bit of effort into, because that little bit of effort will compound over time and you have no idea what that could lead to long term. That's long term, and I promise you will see results if you do that properly. Second, I would start doing outreach to businesses, because that is the fastest way to get a customer right here, right now, today. And what I mean by outreach is you contact them. And how do you do that? Well, there's multiple ways to do it. If you really want to get a customer, you can just call them, which can be quite frightening and quite scary. So that's a bit for the really hustlers out there. But if you're just want a simpler method, I would go with cold email and especially looms. I can't really talk too much about it in this video because then this video would be 2 hours long. But cold looms is such a great acquisition method, and you can basically just Google or go on YouTube and search up cold looms strategy. And it's basically a method where you send a video to someone breaking down what you can offer them and sell them. Those are the two main methods I would go for. Fourth step of my 4-step process is basically operations. How do you run your business once you get customers and you get running? And this is a big topic, and it's quite hard to cover everything right now, but it's basically just making sure that you can offer your clients and your customers a pleasant experience and results that deliver beyond their expectations. And you have to do it in a way which is pleasant for both you and your client. Because if you can do that, you'll be able to scale your business and actually enjoy it at the same time. So have systems in place. I have some systems in place running my business, and those systems make it much easier to run my business and much more pleasant for me, and it also makes it more pleasant for the customer, and we get better results. So just make sure that you streamline your system a little bit and you actually build a system when you're running your business. Now, everything I've covered here, it's a bunch of stuff. And right now, after 8 years in this industry, I'm currently building my business, and I built it up to a point where I'm practicing all of this. As I said, I have my retainers as sort of my fundamental base, and then I go on tour. I'm going on tour in the US in a month, and then I'm traveling to Kenya in 1 week, and I have a lot of stuff going on. I'm shooting these events, these conferences, etc. And then I come home in Norway where I live, and I can keep serving my clients here and have that as my sort of predictable long-term base income, and I can scale that as well. So you can take this any direction you want based on how much flexibility and stability and predictability and scalability and everything that you really want. And it's really up to you. It's a nice customizable model, which is why I like it. Right now for me, I'm trying to scale and build a real agency with social media content for businesses. So that's what I'm doubling down on right now, because I'm seeing so great results with it. And it's something that every business needs. And it's such a high leverage, or it's such a great way to leverage the skills that we have as creative people and creatives to actually make money in a pleasant and profitable way. So that's what I would do if I were you. Now, as I said, there's much more to all of this than I can say in this short video. Therefore, I put together the community Lens Profit, which is a free community. You can join by the first link in the description. In there, we have 14 videos breaking down exactly what I just talked about in depth, how to get customers, how to keep them, service them, my operations, how I structure everything and everything. So if you're interested in that, feel free to join the group. We also have live calls, people ask questions. I'm in there every single day answering and basically trying to give as much knowledge as I can based on what I learned over the last 8 years. I'd love to have you in there. It's a great group. I think we're really building something cool in there, so I'd love to see you. Hope you liked this video. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you all the best for 2026, building your career as a creative. If you have any questions, comment below, join the community, feel free to reach out, and I'll do my best to answer the best that I can. I'm currently building my creative business, and I would love to see you do too. See you soon. Take care.